Elon Musk shreds Associated Press after it publishes a story on Twitter Amnesty. I mean, they hate it. They hate that. They hate that we're not being censored. They hate that we have freedom of speech. They hate that Elon Musk is doing this because they won't be able to control the narrative anymore. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all notifications from when I'm putting out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out even more news. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Twitter CEO Elon Musk is not taking any prisoners in who he shreds as the new owner of the microblogging website. This time, he tore into the Associated Press after it published a disparaging story about him and then shared it on his platform. They said, quote, new Twitter owner Elon Musk said he is granting amnesty for suspended accounts, which online safety experts predict will spur a rise in harassment, hate speech, and misinformation, it said on Twitter. I mean, they just make these outlandish statements, no proof, don't give you any names or anything like that, and Musk call him out, Elon call him out on that. Um, the Associated Press reported on October 28th, the day after he took control, Musk tweeted that no suspended accounts would be reinstated until Twitter formed a content moderation council with diverse viewpoints that would consider the cases. On Tuesday, he said he was reneging on that promise because he'd agreed to, at the instance of, quote, a large coalition of political social activist groups who later broke the deal by urging that advertisers at least temporarily stop giving Twitter their business. A day earlier, Twitter reinstated the personal account of so-called far-right rep Marjorie Taylor Greene, which was banned in January for violating the platform's stupid 19 misinformation policies. Musk, meanwhile, has been getting increasingly chummy on Twitter with right-wing figures. Before this month's U.S. midterm election, he urged independent-minded people to vote Republican. And see how they spin this? Getting chummy? Like, what does that even mean? Getting chummy? I mean, he's just speaking his mind. He wasn't getting chummy with anybody. I mean, these people are ridiculous. The mainstream media is ridiculous. That's why they're losing support across the board. But they go on to say AP is such an expert in misinformation, Twitter couldn't hope to compete, the CEO said. I'm sorry, Elon said that. He goes on to say, Elon said, but you have piqued my curiosity. Who are those online experts you speak of? He said. And that's my point. They just say these things. It's like anonymous sources and all that stuff. They never give up their sources. They just make this stuff up. 9 times out of 10, the mainstream media just make this stuff up to make their points. It's ridiculous. That's why you can't trust none of this stuff that comes out of these organizations. But Musk provided a major update on the status of the platform this week that is not likely to sit well with everyone. Musk noted on Monday that the number of users for the day rose by 1.6 million on Monday, a new high since he acquired the social media giant earlier this fall in a $44 billion purchase. Um, it's only been weeks since Musk took over Twitter. What's more, he has since trimmed the company's workforce by more than 50% in his quest to make the company profitable for a change. I mean, they've been operating in the negative for a long time. Any other company wouldn't have been able to make it this far. So it makes you wonder how were they able to how were they able to work like this in the negative for so long? They had to be propped up by something, and I believe they've been being propped up by the government. The government been using them as a propaganda arm for so many years. That's why people like Biden and things like that is in up is in so much of an uproar because again they're losing control of that narrative of the narrative. A Musk update runs counter to prognostications on the left about Twitter pending demise. That said, several left-leaning figures, especially journalists, have fled Twitter for another platform called Mastodon, only to destroy it with their waves of negativity. The Western Journal noted in the op-ed, and I've been on Mastodon for years. It's not really that great of a thing, and they talk about censorship. Mastodon is wide open. There's no censorship over there whatsoever. And they went over there and found out the hard way what Mastodon was really about. I mean, these people aren't that bright. But, quote, Mastodon, a social media alternative to Twitter, has reportedly become the source of woke infighting and journalistic gatekeeping, much to the amusement of media critics and Twitter CEO Elon Musk himself. Fox News reported this week. They said Mastodon is hell, and it's a hell in which every moderator can read your DMs, and if they deem you to be talking behind their backs, you will be banned. It's the inverse of Twitter, where people can publicly make fun of Elon Musk and not get banned for it. And that's a great point there. The infighting on Mastodon led Musk to quip this week as well. Quote, hopefully all judgy hall monitors stay on the other platform. Please, I'm begging you. He's just trolling all these people. It's crazy what's going on. But the Western Journal op-ed noted further, journalists are far from the only dyed-in-the-wool leftists who have made a big show of quitting Twitter. A long list of celebrities also lined up to virtue signal by announcing their departure from the platform. You got Ken Olin, Tia Leone, Shonda Rhimes, and Alex Winter all left Twitter. I really don't know who any of these people are. I'm sorry, I really don't. But they were soon joined by Gigi Hadid, Mick Foley, Sarah Bareilles, Tony Braxton, and more. No one really cares. Then there were the woke corporations that put a halt to their advertising on Twitter to virtue signal to the left that they are down with the struggle to end free speech in America. I mean, these people are so anti-First Amendment. Those cowardly companies include General Mills, Mondelez International, that's the maker of Oreo cookies, and then you got your Pfizer and Audi. Earlier this month, liberals reacted negatively when Musk began to reinstate previously banned accounts, including former President Donald Trump, who has yet to actually post a new tweet. I don't think Trump is gonna post anything on Twitter because he's the owner of Truth Social. So why would you post on another platform, taking away content from your own platform? But quote, Elon Musk is letting a man who led a violent insurrection overthrow the United States government back on this platform, letting the lies and disinformation continue to poison America's bloodstream, he said. And then you got Keith Olbermann, who added life accomplishments of Donald J. Trump, 2016, as ultimate political outsider, is nonetheless elected president of the United States, 2022. Get account reinstated on free website. I mean, they're just pushing all this nonsense. You got people like Bette Midler even adding to this, saying a tragic day for America, which Elon doesn't understand because at heart he's not American. You see now, so now they're calling these people because you disagree with them un-American, when in fact he is more American than you, Bette Midler, because he actually believed in the Constitution. He actually believed in our freedom of speech, our First Amendment, where you don't. So who's more American, him or you? See, these people make no sense. But let me know what you think about all this nonsense. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.